Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting show on the Just Baseball Network. It is Friday, August 25th, and I'm going to try my damn best to deliver you guys some winners. Everybody watched the game last night. We watched Orioles Blue Jays. We did hit our prize picks entry, though, but it ain't about me. You don't come to this show only for my picks. I do. Got you for 3 different games, 5 different picks, but we also have 41 other picks to get to. Plenty of personalities, plenty of fun. Thank you guys for joining us to end the work week. And of course, it's all brought to you by the Pikkit Sports App, and all of our picks are tracked on the Pikkit Sports App. I keep saying. Also, shout out Larry Beeman gifting a tier 1 sub off the bat. Gifted 2 today. Larry, I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend, for supporting the show, because we do this all for free just to try our best to give you guys some winners. And if we don't provide any winners, at least we're going to provide some entertainment, because I have not been providing winners. I have not been. But that link in the episode, or I always say episode because I'm used to hosting the Just Baseball show, that link in the chat, pick it, download it. You're going to want it. I always promise you. If you have yet to download it, download it. You want to see all the different betting splits. You want to track all of our plays. And if you sync your sports book using code Peter, you get entered into a raffle where you can win anywhere from $3 to $100. Before we get into anything, you guys see the facial hair? I was looking kind of Amish earlier. Could get some new life here. You know, got all the gunk off my face. Feeling kind of chiseled. Still kind of fat. But at least it looks better on camera. All right, beard is the move. Peter, I lost 1.5 units on FIBA basketball. Z Brownlee. Thank you, my friend. Holy Z Brownlee 118W. Thank you, brother. Peter, I lost 1.5 units on FIBA basketball. Winners are harder to come by than a win for the 2008 Lions. You're a Yankees fan. Shave it off. You know what? I like a little. You know, I'm still trying to grow it in right here, Producer Cone. I still have this, like, bald spot because I'm apparently still going through puberty. That's why I get, like, hiccups and shit. Also, in the chat, I will be going to Philadelphia this weekend for a wedding. I need to know which cheesesteak places I got to hit. I've heard, I'm just going to mess up all the names. Delisandro's, Jim's, Ibichikawa. I think you guys know what I'm talking about if you're from Philly. Let me get it again. Before we get into the picks. It's much more important is where I'm going to eat cheesesteaks. Delisandro's, Angelo's. There's a bunch of others. Jim's. I heard Jim's is not around anymore. Gino's. Steve's. I have so many to get. But before we even talk about cheesesteaks, let's do a quick recap from yesterday. It wasn't all bad, but we are now officially in the red on stream. But I've been in the red for a while. Off stream, I'm down 7 units this season. And on the stream, I'm down a cool 0.375 units. So what does that tell me? Stop betting baseball on the weekends. Let's get into how we lost. And then we'll talk about the prize picks entry that we hit.
That's Kyle Gibson, who's been really good.
Who has always had success against the Baltimore Orioles.
Sorry. Oh, this video is audio. So, all right, just play it.
That's Kyle Gibson, who's been really good.
Who has always had success against the
They can hear the audio
Orioles.
in me. Well, what you did see early on was a freaking no-hitter through 3 for both sides.
Mullins back, makes the catch.
We lost. So what happened? No-hitter through 3 on both sides. It was horrible. I was watching and I was like, all right, well, the over didn't hit because that was terrible. But then I'm like, wait a minute, Peter. Just because you've been cold doesn't mean you can hit this pick. Keep watching. You know runs are going to score through the second time around the lineup. What happened? 2-2 instantly. But you know when I knew the over was done? I don't know if you guys are watching it. When Matt Chapman put up the worst at bat with runners on second and third, Blue Jays could have taken a 4-0 lead because you knew the Orioles were bouncing back. And what were we left with? Matt Chapman, find me a hitter in Major League Baseball more lost than Matt Chapman right now. Some of the worst ABs that entire game with runners in scoring position. Remember when he was great for the first half? Dude has fallen off a cliff offensively. Orioles battled back, right? Orioles did their part in the over, but it's the damn Blue Jays again. They just can't hit. Kyle Gibson went 7 2/3. I wasn't fading the Orioles. I took the over. Orioles did their part. I didn't fade the Orioles. Matt Chapman has been garbage since like May 1st. He's lost. Mike, you're so right. Logan, you're so right. Yeah, producer Cohen blew that recap bit. Oh, that's from you. But we did hit our prize picks entry. It wasn't all bad. Adley Rutschman saying I'm fading the Orioles when I took the over and I tailed Adley. I was like, game on the line. Who's going to be there? Adley. Who hits Jose Barrios well? Adley. What did he do? 3 for 4, couple of runs scored, 7 fantasy score? Huh. How about Zach Geloff? How about Zach Geloff of the Oakland A's? If you don't know, now you know. It's been so good for them. Perfect matchup against Jesse Schultens. What did he do against Jesse Schultens? 0 for 3 with a K. But all we needed was a Peter Lambert meatball, and he sent one into left field. So not only did we go over 1.5 bases, but what did I say on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday? I think he's going to hit a home run. He was my home run pick. We've been kind of okay with the home run picks. I know the game picks have been terrible. I know. I've been there. I'm the one taking them. But the home run picks haven't been bad. You received a level 2 hype train emote? I don't even know what that means. Producer goes, what does that mean? We don't know, but we thank you for the support. I think we've done enough dilly-dallying. We just keep getting level 2 hype trains. I'm down. I don't know what that means, but I'm down. Time to get into today's picks. Enough messing around. All right? Producer Cohen, I would like to start in Arizona. The pitching matchup is Hunter Green versus Brandon Pfaadt. Hunter Green was absolutely demolished in his first start back from the IL. The stuff was there, but it was the bombs. It was bombs away in that tiny stadium on a warm summer day in Great American Ballpark. It's so easy to get the ball out of the park in that tiny stadium. And Green still hasn't figured out how to pitch there. Now, last year, I think he was okay, still worse at home. But this year, it's been horrible. And it's becoming a theme, right? He's not a pitcher meant for small fences. Why is that? Well, his low ground ball rate and high velocity lead to so many hard hit balls in the air. Luckily for him, Chase Field is one of the biggest ballparks regarding the length of the fences. And it's also important about who he's facing, right? He's facing a Diamondbacks team. And if we look at the last 30 days, they're 27th out of 30 teams in fly ball rate, 16th in hard hit rate, and an 80 WRC plus in the last 30 days against righties. That 80 WRC plus ranks 29th out of 30 teams in that span, even in the last 2 weeks, right? Because you're like, hey, Peter, I don't know if you've noticed, but the Diamondbacks are heating up. And I totally agree with you. But one thing remains the same. They still rank in the bottom 5 of fly ball rate. They hit a lot of balls on the ground, a lot of line drives, but nothing that I think will leave the yard. That's the biggest thing with Hunter Green. Just don't leave the yard for 3-run home runs because that's what's going to ruin it, right? It also helps that Green is still rocking a 3.50 ERA on the road, and all of his blow-up starts have come at home. Brandon Pfaadt is on the other side, and he looked like the pitcher. How many times have we bet on Brandon Pfaadt this year and lost because he has given up 50 runs? That was earlier on in the season, and I had to give him a break because I had to see what I was getting. And in the month of August, over 4 starts, he's rocking a 2.96 ERA, and it ain't against nobody. He beat the Padres twice. He beat the Dodgers. Well, he didn't beat the Dodgers. He faced the Dodgers and the Giants. The Padres and the Dodgers have performed much better against righties than the Reds in the last 30 days. And in those last 30 days, it's not like the Reds offense has been that much better either. They have an 89 WRC plus, ranking 21st in the league. And the reason I like Fott so much is he's upped his sweeper usage, and his sweeper is a really good pitch. It's generating a 31% whiff rate. Anything above 25% whiff rate is very good. 30 is, you're getting into elite type category. His changeup and curveball, tons of swing and miss, above a 30% clip. His fastball, though, that's the issue. But Arizona ranks 16th in baseball this season against fastballs, right? They aren't a good fastball hitting team, right? Remember when Javon was talking about yesterday? That still remains the case. So if his one weakness is fastballs, and the Reds don't hit fastballs, that's going to be an issue here. We saw that on full display yesterday with Merrill Kelly. While both starters have inflated ERAs, there is context to everything. We have two bad offenses going up against two starters with a lot of upside. 5 runs, it's a big cushion. Now, I think this has moved. Can you check BetMGM for me, producer Cohen? Can you share the screen with the people? I don't know, but what I saw is that a lot of people, I think in our Discord, were betting on this also, and it's now at 4.5. I think I could be wrong. Remember, it's Reds Diamondbacks. Are we shared screen right now? Yeah. So go to Reds Diamondbacks. It's under 4.5. What's the juice to the under? Minus 110. If you like that, what whiff rate did you generate in high school, Pete? 50. Reds will win. They need to bounce back. I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I just don't believe in both offenses. I think they're going to be slow out the gate. At 4.5, no, the Discord is closed. It's just for the cappers for this competition. First 5 under 4.5. If I saw that, I mean, I think it lands on 4, right? Because 4.5, if it lands on 5, I push, you lose. So obviously we don't want that. I would just lower the risk, right? I got 1.2 units on it. I would probably lower it to like 0.75 units because 5 is a pretty key number, right? In the first 5 innings. I would probably lower it to that if you want to tail, but I really like this play. Don't want to deal with the bullpens, right? Arizona's bullpen is relatively rested, but it's just not a unit I trust. And then with the Reds, their bullpen is completely barren. So I'm not trying to take the full game under. I still like the full game under, but it's not something I really want to take. Second play of the day. Let's go to Pittsburgh. Let's go to PNC Park. The pitching matchup is Kyle Hendricks versus Mitch Keller. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the wrong team is favored here. And you could say, well, what? Kyle Hendricks, Mitch Keller. It's the Pirates versus the Cubs. How's the wrong team favored here? Let me explain why. It's not by much, right? But the Pirates have the better starter. They have the more rested bullpen, and they have home field advantage. They also have a good matchup against Kyle Hendricks. They faced him once on June 21st, getting 3 runs through 6 innings, but only 1 earned run. The quality of contact over a large sample is really good against him. Remember when we talked about the Orioles' quality of contact against Barrios, but it was such a large sample and he had shoved against them before, right? When you watch the, if you're watching that game, all they were talking about was how well Barrios has pitched against the Orioles. And same thing applies here for Kyle Hendricks. But at some point, they're going to start hitting Hendricks because against the Pirates' current roster through 96 plate appearances, he's posted a 358 WOBA and a 514 expected slug. Those are both better than what Barrios had against the Orioles yesterday. Brian Hayes, Connor Joe, Brian Reynolds, Jack Sawinski all have a 300 expected batting average or higher and a 400x WOBA or higher against him. They see him really well. Now that it was a lot of hard line outs, it's, you know, it hasn't been ideal in terms of run scoring, but over a large sample, they're hitting the ball hard. I'm willing to bet on that. Now, Hendricks, what does he do, right? Works down in the zone. And I've noticed that soft tossing pitchers who work down in the zone are good matchups for the Pirates. They hit those pitches, whether that be curveballs, sinkers, changeups. We've seen that with guys like Adam Wainwright or Bryce Elder, even a guy who throws a little bit harder like Sonny Gray. All pitchers who all throw a bunch of different pitches, but it's a very similar formula. It's a little bit softer. It's a little bit down in the zone, right? The only time they got beat by a guy working down in the zone in a soft tosser was, remember when they got shoved against by Dallas Keuchel? But the Pirates, they can't hit lefties. Last 30 days, 79 WRC plus versus lefties. Righties, who they're facing today, 105 WRC plus and above average offense. So when you're fading the Pirates, it's good to take someone who throws up in the zone and has a lot of high velocity. That's, of course, not Kyle Hendricks' game. On the flip side, we have Mitch Keller, who was amazing in the first half, but he hit a rough patch, but he looks to be back in form. His strikeouts have spiked, and his quality of contact has been superb. But the Cubs, they don't strike out, but they also rank 27th in hard hit rate against righties in the last 2 weeks. So what does Mitch Keller do? He strikes a lot of people out, doesn't allow hard contact. The Cubs don't strike out, but they don't hit the ball very hard. So I think Mitch Keller is actually going to work pretty fast through this lineup. They also rank 15th or worse since June 1st against sinkers, fastballs, and cutters, which are Keller's 3 most used pitches. I like the Cubs bullpen when Alzolay and Merriweather are available. Both are not. So it's going to be a lot of Mark Leiter Jr. Then who? Cubs fans, who's throwing today? Jose Cuas? 5.69 expected ERA for him. They could go to Michael Fulmer, 4.30 expected ERA. Yeah. So why do I like it through both halves? I like the Pirates. I think they have the better pitcher, and I think they have a good matchup against Kyle Hendricks. Then the full game, I think they also have the bullpen advantage because Holderman has thrown in 2 of the last 3 days, but he should be available today after a few days before that and only throwing 11 pitches yesterday. So what has Colin Holderman done? Didn't pitch Sunday, Monday, pitched Tuesday, 19 pitches, didn't pitch Wednesday through 11 yesterday. He'll be available. David Bednar is huge. Honestly, if David Bednar wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be taking the Pirates through the full game. I would just focus on the first 5. Thankfully, he only threw 8 pitches yesterday. Even Ryan Barucki has been solid, and he's going to be available today, rocking a 3.68 expected ERA. Hendricks is minus 145 to go over 2.5 earned runs, and Mitch Keller is plus 105 to go over 2.5 earned runs. The Cubs have dominated this season series, no doubt about it. The Cubs have owned the Pirates. But I think if Pirates finally get theirs, give me the Pirates at plus 100, and give me their first 5 money line at minus 115. Am I crazy? I have a 4-leg $1,000 free play. I need 4 locks, Peter. Well, you're going to hear 41 picks today, so you're going to get plenty. And I've already given you a couple. Not locks, but picks I do like. And the last pick of the day, Texas Rangers versus the Minnesota Twins at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Dane Dunning versus Sonny Gray. It's a simple bet for me. What did I say yesterday? People came on and pitched the Rangers. And what did I say? What did I say to Cali Wager? I'm not saying it was a bad pick because the Rangers scored, right? But I'm not going to try and catch the falling knife with the Rangers. This team has now dropped 7 in a row, and I have no reason to think they'll win today. When I looked at the game, I was like, no, I'm not betting the Rangers, but I'm probably not going to bet the Twins. But then I looked deeper into it because I'm like, do the Rangers have any way of actually winning it? Because I there's a part of you there's like, it's a good team. No way they keep losing. But I looked into the game and I'm like, I'm taking the Twins. The Twins ranks, so offense. Last 30 days, Twins ranked 7th in WRC plus against righties. Rangers ranked 15th. 1 for the Twins. Sonny Gray has a 3.76 expected ERA to Dunning with a 4.36. 2. In the last 14 days, the Rangers ranked 19th in WRC plus while the Twins ranked 6th. The Rangers do have Aroldis Chapman available. Not ideal for the Twins. However, the Twins combat that with Yohan Duran. So any late game bullpen edge for the Rangers is non-existent. Even when the Rangers did see Gray over the years, they posted a 3.37 xWOBA. That's not bad. But the Twins' current roster has posted a 3.59 xWOBA against Dane Dunning. The Rangers don't have any advantage in this game except they're due to win and Chapman's available. Prove to me you're going to beat the streak, Rangers. Prove to me. I don't think you do. Give me the Twins, both on the money line and the first 5. Respect you for having the balls to play this game, but I'm staying away. I understand. I wouldn't tail me now anyway. Friggin' lose every day, it feels like. No, it's fine. We're already done. Let's pick a home run pick. Let's see who's going yard today. Oh, the Pirates guys did, huh? I like that. I like that a lot. Who's going yard today? I mean, that bad man, Seth Brown's kind of staring at me, but no, I can't get greedy. Can't get greedy. Need some PP plays, not going to lie. I'm telling you, we got plenty today. Plenty. Should we take Ohtani with a torn UCL? You know what I will say? I haven't seen Castellanos up here in a long time. Producer Con. When's the last time you saw Nick Castellanos that high? Against Miles Turkey tossing Michaelis? Against Michaelis, Miles trampoline arm, Miles? Put the camera on me, Producer Con. My home run pick of the day. Let's look at the odds on BetMGM right now before I give it out. I want to see if it's weird. No, I lean Pirates, but staying away. However, I do like Rangers first 5. I'll agree the Peters line on a 7-game losing streak. I mean, Sonny Gray might win the Cy Young. Let's see. Where is that Phillies game? Phillies. Where are player props? Batting props, home runs. Nick Castellanos is plus 360. Kyle Schwarber's plus 180. Yep. My home run pick of the day is Nick Castellanos for the Philadelphia Phillies. And if he doesn't hit one off Miles Michaelis, which I think he will, he's going to hit one off one of these Cardinals bullpen arms. Because what? Are we afraid of Andre Palante? I am not. Give me Nick Castellanos to hit a home run today at plus 360. That's my home run pick of the day. And what I will say is, cash Zach Geloff yesterday. Enough of me. Time to get to Ollie quarter unit.
I've got full units today.
I kind of just said that so you'd come in hot.
I'm chilling. Let's get to it.
What do you like? Oh, sharp.
It's going to hit.
It probably will. I'm not making fun of it. I just, the first play that we pitch is Braves minus 1.5.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like it was me.
I don't care if it's lame, square ball, whatever. I personally don't think it's a bait short line because Logan Webb has crazy numbers at home for years now. Like the sample size goes back. I just think, and I don't necessarily think that he's going to pitch poorly, but I just think we get a vintage Strider Cy Young masterclass here tonight. The Giants are quietly the worst team in baseball versus right-handed pitching since the All-Star break. I don't know if you know that.
I do.
60-something WRC plus against right-handed pitching since the All-Star break. The Braves, don't know if you know this, number 1. Shocker, I know, but I just think whatever. If it's bait, don't care. I'll go down the ship. Probably bet Braves minus 1.5 all weekend since I can't take them to score first, minus 500, whatever it's going to be.
It's funny too. I was thinking about betting this game because I saw Spencer Strider, his earned run prop is at 1.5 minus 125 towards the under, and I was
just
like, oh my god,
silly. And I'm pretty sure Logan Webb's hits allowed are 7 or 7.5, which is also a crazy high number. Yeah. I get why it's there, but it's still pretty telling on how this game's going to go, in my personal opinion. So squaring up on Braves minus 1.5.
It's not even square. It's just they're the best team in baseball, and you're taking a minus 1.5. But I wouldn't call it square. I was just making fun of you. It's against Logan Webb at home. It's a good
You're
pitch.
Fading Logan Webb at home, which doesn't feel great. But when you're backing the Braves and Spencer Strider, it feels more. You feel more comfortable placing that bet. That's all. That's it. Washington,
Miami over 8.
Yes, my favorite total of the day, far and away. I'll take those scrappy Nats against left-handed pitcher Braxton Barrett to put up runs. Time and time again, they find ways to claw runs across the board against left-handed pitching, especially. And Braxton Garrett, he's a solid arm, but he's very strikeout reliant. The Nats aren't going to strike out. They're going to make him work deep in the counts, get to him, and get to that very bland bullpen and put up runs. And on the flip side, I mean, what hasn't been said about Jonah Doan at this point? Yeah,
his ERA is under 8.
I guess, but man, like he looked fantastic. Like he actually did look really good in his first start of the season. Like
against the Reds, he did look good, and I was like, wait a minute,
in Cincinnati, wasn't it? It was in Cincinnati. I'm pretty sure,
but it was against Cincinnati. I'm not.
It was
sure
against
where.
them. He had a nice tight sliders, locating his fastball, and ever since then, back to last year's Jonah Doan. So, although I'm not like too in love with the Miami offense lately, like they've definitely been scuffling. I think this is a really good spot for them. With the Nationals bullpen went under a lot of stress. Not necessarily like it's not necessarily a good bullpen, but they really had a lot of stressful innings in that last series against the Yankees. So I think both offenses are really just going to let loose here tonight.
Fair enough. Play number 3.
The worst team against left-handed pitching in baseball all season, last 14 days, last 30 days, whatever metric you want to use, is Colorado Rockies. They are just abysmal, and they're on the road where they are also a bottom 5 team in baseball. Do I love Cole Irvin? Of course not, but I think he can give us 1 to 2 scoreless innings the first time through the order. I think will be scoreless for him. If the Rockies get to him after that, fine, which they've been doing against the Rays, like to their credit. They put up some runs there in the middle innings. If the Orioles don't score in the first 2 or 3 innings, whatever. I want to back the Orioles one way. I think this is the best way to do it personally.
I like it. I think it's going to hit.
I think it's going to hit too. That's why I'm playing
it. Minus 105 is a good price. Of course, it's cheaper because they're at home and
exactly.
Like if the Rockies score in the top of the first, they don't even get a chance to answer, and that's kind of the point of the bet.
Right.
But all you need is Cole Irvin. It's almost like a Nerfie, except like I much rather prefer these than Nerfies.
Dude,
much rather.
These are my new junkie. I need home teams to score first bets like every day now.
I know. Because everyone talks about Nerf, like take the team who you think is definitely going to win. And if you like the pitching matchup, you've been good with these. Like, I think you've gotten beat a couple of times.
Yeah, the Braves had a 3-game
stretch. You're higher than you are lower.
Ironically, it was against the Mets. They only scored first 1 out of the 3 games in that series, but I rode with it. And earlier this week, got back on track. Got the Rays the other day. I think it was yesterday. That was the Rays. So
Where
today, going with the Orioles.
Where were you?
Well, it's the weekend now. It was Ollie 1 Corp of the week. So this is the first time of the week you're seeing me. I got 3 1-unit plays.
I love how Corp now has disseminated to everything except gambling.
Yep.
Like, it was so funny. I got a DM. You know how I sent out I'm going to Philly for a wedding? I don't know if you saw my tweet. I got a DM being like, why are you going to a Corp wedding? And I'm like, what?
Get in the lab.
I was like, what do you even mean?
That's a new one. But just didn't have time to make it this week.
That's all good. Can we also flash a leaderboard to tell the people that Ollie quarter unit is actually killing it?
Yeah, we're hanging around.
Place?
4th, but yeah, whatever. We're hanging around. We're hanging in there. I
would kill to be in your position.
Yeah, you hopped over to the red. Colby might pass you. Wow, we've got Anthony Dabadoo.
Anthony Dabunda.
Yeah, Colby's coming up. Nick has been there for a while. I miss Tomas, man. Wish he was back here.
I know what happened to Tomas.
What?
Well, Tomas no longer works for just baseball. He moved to Boston. He's going to law school, and he just couldn't keep up anymore.
Oh, good for him. Happy for him. It's unfortunate that he booked his flight to the World Series in the middle of April, but I hope he got a refund.
Do you like the Red Sox today? I think the game's going to get rained out. I like the under a lot, and then I was like,
yeah, the under.
Like, I
honestly think the under was the I don't know. I think we're going to see runs in that game.
I even think the game's going to get played.
I do think it might. It's kind of clearing up a little bit up here. A very emotional game. Obviously, Mookie Betts' first game back. That's going to be pretty emotional. But Carter Crawford at home has been abysmal. The Dodgers are the Dodgers, and the Red Sox, very streaky offensive team all year, and they're on one of their upswings right now, especially after yesterday. I know people don't like. I understand the travel point of view. Both teams on travel days, no rest, doubleheader basically for the Dodgers yesterday, a billion runs for the Red Sox yesterday. I get the angle for the under, but I just don't think that this pitching matchup cares about it.
Fair enough. I looked at the weather report, and while it looks like it might be clearing up, it's supposed to start raining again. And I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I just don't think the game is going to get played. But also, if the game does get played, yes, the Red Sox trade Mookie Betts, but at least you have Jeter Downs and Connor Wong and Alex Verdugo, the big package.
I saw. What's his name? Fuzzy from YouTube. He tweeted out Alex Verdugo since being traded to the Red Sox. 40 home runs, 15 stolen bases, 7.5 F4. Mookie Betts this year, 34 home runs, 10 bases, 7 F4. I'm like, oh my God! That's the one that.
But then you have to add in Connor Wong and Jeter Downs because they were pretty good for the Red Sox.
Connor Wong actually is good.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, good. Jeter Downs obviously whatever, but Connor Wong actually is good.
No, yeah. I mean, the definition of good is. I mean,
he's a good catcher.
He's a good catcher.
Yeah,
so is Kyle Higashioka.
Put those numbers offensively and defensively side by side. Connor Wong probably blows them out of the water.
Do it.
How many?
We don't have anyone in queue right now. Pull up Connor Wong stats. We'll do it right now.
How many 4-hit games does Kyle Higashioka have this year?
I think 0. I don't even know if he has a 2-hit game.
I think you're kind of underestimating Connor Wong. He's been
I don't think I am.
He's hitting 250 as a catcher with a 712 OPS and 2.3 WAR this year. B-WAR. That's like pretty.
No, it's not bad.
That's pretty acceptable for a quote unquote backup catcher, even though it's basically a platoon. But I will say, if I could trade Connor Wong and Alex Verdugo for Mookie Betts right now, I would.
You would.
Yes, I think I would do that.
So let's in the last 2 years go to Fangraphs.
I'm not trying to justify the Mookie trade. Never will I ever try to justify that, Dom, fully. It's one of the. I'm just saying Connor Wong is actually good. It's not justifying the trade. The trade was awful. It's one of the worst trades in baseball history. I'm not that's
You're just saying
established.
Connor Wong is a borderline all-star.
I didn't say that. I say he's good.
You know who's good? Cutter Crawford is good.
He's all right.
You prefer Cutter Wong?
To Cutter Crawford? They're completely different positions.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the idea of what's good and what's bad. A good baseball player.
You don't think a 2+ WAR player?
I think he's having a fine season.
Okay. You don't think it's going to last past this? Why not? What is there what evidence do you have to make it not be good past this season?
Let me do some quick research.
He's fine. He's a good baseball player. He's a catcher. If you can hit 250 as a catcher with a 730-ish, above 700 OPS, you take that these days with a cannon arm. I think that's pretty.
Maybe I'm a Connor Wong casual. Let me take a dive into the Savant page and let me just see what we're looking at. We're looking at a lot of blue. As soon as I click on it, a lot of blue.
That's fine. What about the sprint speed?
75th percentile.
He's got wheels.
4th percentile K rate, 12th percentile walk rate, 3rd percentile expected batting average, 4th percentile expected WOBA.
Okay, but let's do it among catchers. Can you do that? You should be able to do that.
He strikes out a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk either.
Yeah.
We'll talk later. I appreciate you coming on.
All right. Dom, you don't want your catcher to beat out ground balls? You don't want your catcher to swipe bags?
It's a good point. That's what JT Realmuto does.
Exactly. I think he's the only catcher faster than Connor Wong.
Well, at least you got a fast catcher for Mookie Betts. All right, we'll talk
with a good arm. It's going to be a rough weekend, man.
Good luck.
Fuck. I miss him.
I'll talk to you soon, my
I
friend.
miss him.
I know you do.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
At least they won a World Series.
At least they won a World Series. Respect to research before speaking out of your ass like many cappers. Don't give me too much respect. I speak out of my ass all the time. But. No, I love Ollie. Yeah, I mean, him talking about sprint speed for Connor Wong is crazy. Yonder Diaz is better than both of those catchers. Oh, yes, I'm slight. Yonder Diaz is actually a good catcher. Like, when I think of the term good, that's what I think about. I think about Yonder Diaz. I do not think about Connor Wong. But we all have different interpretations of the word good. Right? Get ready for me to fully talk out of my ass. Yeah. Does Wong have 3-homer game? No. Okay. You know what? Dom might be right. Question for the chat. Does Mookie Betts get a standing O in Fenway? Does Mookie Betts get a standing ovation in Fenway? Yes? You'd think, right? You'd think. Yes. A lot of yeses. He has to. Not his fault he's gone. I agree. Boston fans, what did he say? Boston fans are racist, not inhumane. No, they're not. I mean, I don't know if they're racist. I think that's a little bit too far. I don't know. He has to. Not his fault. I agree with you. But at the same time, I've seen Red Sox fans do a lot worse. Bruce Coney, you don't think they do? Here, get on the mic. No, don't tell. They're not. He goes, they're not gonna like it.
I think they're fucking trying to cheer for him. They're gonna be like, "Fuck you," like, you know.
No, I like all of you guys in the chat are correct. That doesn't mean it's gonna happen, right? Just because like we think it's the good idea and the right thing to do doesn't mean they're going to do it. Real question is Colby coming on the stream today? No, Colby. It's Ollie. We got Gino coming up at 5:10, then Javon, then DeGen, then Mid-Major, then Aram, and then Jake bet every game on the board. I think they do it just to get him a pitch clock violation. That from me names Jeffrey. Can you highlight that comment? That's exactly what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do it so he steps out of the box, acknowledges the fans. They're going to get him on a pitch clock violation, and then they're going to go rabid. Because they are smart. Red Sox fans are smart. Except Ollie, thinking Connor Wong is good. Connor Wong is a catcher. I think like that's where we're at now. Phasing about a spit. We'll see. Where's Gino? I'll text him. Ready for you. I can see Boston fans starting to cheer, then start booing the second about it. I can see that too. Like being like, all right, we love you. But then as soon as he like does anything. Heard there was good catcher talk, but Jan Gomes wasn't mentioned. You're right, Eli. You're right. He wasn't mentioned. Do we know what the term good means? I'm looking up the dictionary definition of the term good. Good definition. To be desired or approved of. I guess technically Jan Gomes and Connor Wong could fit that definition. Because if the term good is described as approved of, but is that above average? Wouldn't good be above average? Here's, I think, crap, below average, average, good, great, elite. Now, where would Jan Gomes and Connor Wong slide in? I think I think below average, right? Because isn't average the 15th best catcher in baseball? There's 30 catchers. Isn't average the 15th best? Good would mean they're close to top 10. Can you talk Twins-Rangers matchup? I already did, my friend. I'm on the Twins through the first 5 in the full game. That's World Series champion Gomes to you. It's true. Who are the top 3 catchers? Adley, Will Smith, Will Smith. Who am I missing? Yeah, Sean Murphy. You're right. You're right, Jake. You're right. It's Sean Murphy, it's Adley, it's Will Smith. Whatever order you want. Real Muto is not top 3. He'd probably be 4. You could be a good catcher and an average player since the catching position is just offensively and generally lower in general. I agree with you, but what I am saying is if you are comparing him to other catchers, he's below average. We got Gino. Let's flash the leaderboard and let the people know where our guy Gino is.
It's Friday again, and Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday again, and Saturday, Sunday, what?
Let's go, baby.
Bro, I'm demanding.
Third on the leaderboard. You're 5 units away from Javon, and you got plenty of picks.
And
you know what you missed yesterday? We had a football braganza yesterday, and you missed it.
I'm sad to hear that. If Cincinnati won and I attended the show, I would be 0.4 units behind Javon. But since he didn't win and I didn't attend the show. So that's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, your biggest play yesterday was Reds, but I think you hit everything else.
I did. It was my biggest play, though, and that hurts. And at plus 156, if your team's ever in the lead, I would say that's a good bet. But generic statement, a loss is a loss. I want to warn everyone out there, I'm playing to win this tournament. So you're going to see more 1.5 and 2 unit plays this next 6 weeks. Not a crazy amount. I'm still very responsible, but just know that I'm tested out the waters and now I'm just pumping a little harder. So just put that in your back pocket. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing to win the tournament.
Let's get after it. Play number 1. We'll go from 0.5 units up to your biggest plays, and we'll start with Baltimore.
What was I always like your thoughts on I want to know where I have to defend myself and where you align.
So, I mean, you got Cole Irvin against Kyle Freeland. I have no reason not to take this play. I don't love taking first 5 -0.5 when it's juiced like this, but at the same time, it's the Orioles versus Kyle Freeland. So no problem with it.
For anyone out there that listens well, which a lot of your followers do, I love +0.5 plus money. This is the first time I'm giving out a -0.5 minus money. I simply just have this as EV positive. I had the true line on this as 156, I want to say it was. Ooh. I don't have my notes right in front of me, but it was in the 150 something range. So just a boring play. Goes against one of my systems. I have a system that I check every day, whoever's plus money and +0.5. And this one goes against that system. So I'm also be giving out a play later that is against the sharps. I'm going against the grain, just on EV. So that's all this one is. That's why it's a 0.5 unit, guys. Even though I have more value on this than a 0.5 unit, it's against the system of mine.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
Cincinnati first 5 money line.
So I like, oh man, you know what hurt the most about Cincinnati yesterday is I've been on Arizona every which way for like 2 weeks, and they've been printing, and I thought I timed it perfect. I got out of the way of the moving train, and I warned you all about that, how much money people lose going against people that are on streaks. Still think it was the right play. Still think this is the right play. Although I'm only giving it out, I think this way, the first 5 money line. I also even had a sliver of EV positive on Cincy +1.5, but I'm not betting it. And I also had Cincinnati in the game. But in terms of all 3 of the value, this is the most value of all 3 of those plays, even though all 3 were EV positive.
I'm curious. I bet the first 5 under in this game, and you're on the first 5 money line. Do you like it because you think Hunter Green shoves, or do you like it because you think Reds bats kill Fott?
I have Hunter Green on the over and outs, not in like strikeouts or anything like that. I had him almost in the under on walks too. So, just those little things. But no, I don't know. Like, again, I'm trying to use the right terms. If he gets over on his outs, did he shove? No, he just had a quality appearance. I would say shove. I would say that word for when I have over on outs and over on strikeouts. I just have him going through all 5.
Fair enough. And then what about Fott? You don't like his matchup, or?
No, they're just nothing came up on my radar. Everything just seemed to be true value, fair lines, fair odds. Nothing jumped out at me. I also have that as a kind of like a coin flip. So if I can get plus money on a coin flip, I'm really happy in that scenario.
And you get to push, like if it's 2-2 or something, you push anyway.
Yeah, and I liked what I saw yesterday. I actually thought Cincy had more chances to be up before they took that late lead. Again, in a loss. So what does it matter?
Play number 3, Royals.
This is one of my favorite plays. I needed to see your face when I texted this one. Give me it. Tell me. I'm getting in front of Seattle.
So it's funny. The guy you're chasing in the competition, Javon, is on Seattle first 5 and Reds full game.
So so I'm okay with that. I'm trying to thread the needle on the Reds, but
so
this is good then. This is good.
I like the value here. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really think Bryce Miller shoves.
That's fair. And I'll just tell you
Javon is even up next, which is interesting.
Yeah. No. And don't let him change. He can't change plays on this, especially from me. I know he wouldn't. He's a man. But what I will say, this is the only game I saw today at Spurts that had RLM, reverse line movement. It's the only game I saw getting more tickets, more money on Seattle, and the line dipped to feed more money in, and then they started playing the game again. So in my opinion, this is the game that makes the house the most money today. The Royals winning makes the house the most money.
You've said that a lot against Seattle.
Yeah, I think again, guys, when I give you generic things like this, don't just bet them blindly. The last game of the night, I love dogs and unders. I think people just get clobbered chasing. So I think it's the time zone that I do think a lot of people put Seattle when they're heavy money line favorites in parlays, and they're 3 and 4 teamers. And I'll tell you again, if you had to blind bet things, it's always dogs and unders. I don't blindly bet those, but I really don't like being on an over or a favorite in quote unquote prime time. That's my only guess on why I find a lot of value against Seattle. I think the books have played people pretty well, like a fiddle on them, because what do they have?
I think Seattle has been the hottest team in baseball, and they've been killing it.
And they're a 70-win team, right? Are they 76?
They're like 71 wins. Yeah, they've been the best team since the All-Star break, or arguably one of them.
Yeah, and ironically, I've been bullish with you. I think we said this a month or two ago. I like Seattle to make the playoffs, and I like them to be dangerous in the playoffs. This is just purely a good pitcher for the Royals. That shouldn't be plus 150. They should be plus about 140, 135.
And you know what's cool about my Seattle futures today? I have a cash out option that's more than what I originally put for the first time ever. And I'm like,
you're officially in the green?
I'm officially, well, they could lose today. The cash out goes down, but I'm saying this is the first time this season where the cash out button has been higher than what I put on it. And I was like, I got him right where I want him.
I got to be a dork real quick because I care about technology.
No, yeah, I'm not going to cash out. I'm just saying that moment.
No, I'm asking.
A good moment.
Would you want to live bet futures, be able to trade them and trade pieces of them and buy them throughout the year? Are you familiar with a company called Prop Swap?
No.
Okay. It's in Vegas. They physically take your tickets, they buy them off you and resell them. I think I want to add a digital version of that onto our site. Where
we'll talk about that. I
want to ask what you would do throughout the year.
I haven't thought about it.
Like if I would let you rebet that money and keep your ticket, because you have a hedge essentially. You have something worth something, an asset you already invested in. I'll bug you later about it.
For sure. Play number 4, Tiger.
My Tigers. So, dude, I keep finding of all the crappy teams, I think the Tigers have made me and lost me the most money this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not made, just lost for me.
Yeah, they show up a lot on the radar. I do think, guys, if you could be a little patient on this one, don't run and bet the Tigers right now. Sincerely, I think you can get a little bit better than plus 145 on MGM. toward the last 20 minutes. It's the first game of the night. It lines up there. A lot of people get off work and run and bet favorites. Again, it's just a better pitcher. It's a little disrespectful to give Manning this much at home. That's all. And I don't know if this is accurate or not, but tell me if it is. This is not one of Houston's best pitchers. And the line has stuck dead even with more money.
No, it's Framber. But he has really struggled on the road, and the Tigers do get lefties better. But it's Framber.
And where do you put him on their top 5?
2 to Verlander.
Oh, okay. Damn it. So I would have put him at 3. Okay, so that's fair. But I respect your
Who do you have put at 2?
France? You're gonna hate it. The legend that came back.
Verlander but then who's 1?
Wait, hold on. Let me pull their 5. Give me their 5 real quick. Hold on.
Well, you got Hunter Brown, you got Verlander, you got Framber, you got Christian Javier, and you got JP France.
I think I would have gone Christian Javier, and obviously now Verlander.
No way. You would not. Christian Javier has been a walking trash can this year.
For betting?
For anything.
Are you talking about for like the quality of the pitcher? I'm talking about for the quality of the value I find in the betting.
We're talking about
I'm just talking about the public having no love for him, and I'm getting free money on him. I'm not talking about like the stats line for line. I've pretty sure Franberg has showed up on my, because that's how I know them. I just show them when they show up as EV on my AI. I think Franberg shows up all the time. I think he shows up number 1 or 2.
As overvalued.
Okay, so
I agree.
That's where I find all the value, brother.
Yankees money line.
Oh man. This is probably my least favorite play, guys, if I'm being honest with you. To me, the way this shook out, them being in Tampa Bay's record against them, everything about this, it feels like a moneymaker for the books. There's more tickets on Tampa Bay. The line dropped, I want to say, from 118 down to 110 or 105, and now it's back as high as plus 115, depending where you're shopping. This to me is just a classic. I'm in bed with the house. No reverse line movement or anything like that. It's just a very live line moving a lot. This to me, Tampa Bay is the squarest bet of the day.
Huh.
Against
Cole, though? That's square. I wouldn't say that's square. I think there's plenty more.
I saw 71% on Tampa Bay minus 1.5. And I almost bet the Yankees, but there was just no value. I want to say it was like minus 180, minus 190. That was almost the play, was Yankees plus 1.5. That had a little RLM. But I'm just telling you, this line opened at plus 150, minus 1.5 for Tampa Bay. It has 63% or 68% of the tickets, and it dropped. Now, it didn't have more money. So it's either New York, the Yankees are sharp, or Tampa Bay square.
Okay, fair enough. We got more plays. Phillies. Wow.
Look at this behemoth. It's not every day I give out a 2-unit plus 135.
See, this is, I think, one of the squarest plays. But at the same time, I do not know how the Phillies lose this game.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Let me word it this way. All signs for this game pointed to the over for me. But the over just didn't make my EV. So if you guys ask me, what would you bet? Over, under in this game? Over, and more over. But I found no EV on it. Then I looked at Philly. I think they're minus 135, minus 140, something like that. Saw a slight EV, but not enough there. So essentially, this is me gambling. This is a little competition adding it. The only way I bet Philly here is minus 1.5. I don't like Philly money line. I know it's for the guys listening to me, how the fuck you can take a team minus 1.5 when you don't like a money line? Because I do think the likelihood of them winning by 2 or more is above 40 something, 42% or whatever it takes for plus 135 to be EV positive. And I had so many signs on St. Louis pitchers under on outs, under on strikeouts, over on walks, little things, not enough to bet. And then I had liked the over in this game. There just wasn't enough value. And I liked the Phillies, but again, not enough value. So I don't even have really a name for this. But this is, if you force me to bet this game with the most ROI, this was the biggest positive I could find with all those correlating triggers for something I could not bet any other way. And I'm trying to win this competition. I was pretty positive no one else would be on the Phillies. So it's a chance for me to gain 2.7 units against no one else. So
Can't hate it.
I hope that's helpful. Guys, this is how I bet. It's not the same as anyone else. I know it's very different, but I value pitchers that get me ROI. I value teams that are in situations that people don't like them in. And I like using multiple systems to find value and triggers. So hope that's helpful, my homies.
It's extremely helpful, Gino, and that's why you're in third place in the competition and well up units. Keep killing it, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Later, brother.
Peace. The Milkman, number one in the competition, up 12 units in a different hat every day. I even undersold him. Up 13 units. His name is Javon. How are you?
Jabbing me of a unit, man. It's a soft move.
It's my bad. I'm used to you see being up 11, then 12. Because every single day you come on the stream, it's just you make a unit, then a unit, then a unit, then a unit.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think I've had like a big day on stream like all season. It's all
I know,
like,
because you go 2-1 and then you hit your prize picks entry and you go up a unit and change and just every day.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal.
That's the goal. So. You could be up 300. You'll be up 365 units over a calendar year if you just do this every day.
Yeah, I mean that the disaster day is certainly coming. It's been lurking around the corner. I've gotten very I don't want to say lucky, but I've been flirting with it for the past like week. So
let's hope it's not today. Let's hope it's Saturday and Sunday, not on stream. Not today.
Yeah,
let's get to play number one.
There we go. Seattle first 5, -0.5. Brady Singer just took a no-hitter into the 7th inning against this team a week ago. And now we're looking at a bunch of lines like, oh, first of all, I guess you can put it into context, not only him, but this Royals team, you want to back them at home. They're at home in that game. Now they're on the road where the bats are significantly worse. Brady Singer is significantly worse, 6.75 on the road, 3.98 at home. So this is overall situationally one that I want to back with him coming off that start, and then obviously the splits line up there. I want to kind of point out that start as something that was more of a flash in the pan than really a good mark on Brady Singer necessarily, because we do still see him with a nearly 50% hard hit rate. We know what this Mariners lineup has done against righties for this entire month, really since the All-Star break.
Yeah, since the All-Star break.
Last 30 days, even if you just take that, 6th in the league against right-handed pitching, hard hit rate. So, I mean, I look at the lines today, and they reflect more of that, more so than, what we saw in the no-hit bid by Brady Singer. He went 7 strong, gave up 2, eventually kind of cracking in that inning. And what do you know? Over 2.5 runs, -165 on the board today. Should be a free little plus money under, which I was really mad that this wasn't in bettable range today, because I would have loved to have a square on prize picks to take with it. But what do you know? It's already -165. So love the spot for them. Also, Bryce Miller, I love his matchup too. He's one of the guys, which I don't know why it is what it is, or what it is with the whole Mariners rotation. Pretty much, they all have pretty decent splits where they struggle against lefties. I don't get it. But going up against the Royals today,
I'm invested in the Mariners in every which way come playoff time, and we cannot face lefty lineups. If we face righty lineups, we're going to win the World Series. If we face lefty lineups, we got issues.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it is like it is, but
even Kirby, the OPS is 100 points worse against lefties.
It's literally all of them. And today, I mean, Bryce Miller, talking about the bigger bats in that lineup, it's obviously Bobby Witt, Michael Garcia has been really solid. Salvi is obviously a big punch. He destroyed them in that series. So if you can get through them, and you're really only worrying about MJ Melendez, a little sneak appearance from him, and some of the lefty bats like at the bottom of the lineup, maybe a Drew Waters, he's Barry Bonds Jr. appearance. I feel really good about how Bryce Miller can pitch in this game. I kind of don't want to echo Gino, but I feel weird about how this game is going to turn out. And it's weird to say that when you have the Royals bullpen involved and you don't feel all that confident about going with, a full game type thing. But I like the first 5 and sticking with that, these 2 pitchers.
It would be kind of cool to thread the needle. You win through 5 and Gino wins full game.
Yeah, I mean,
for the people in the chat, not for the competition purposes for you guys, but for the chat, that would be kind of
I'm not rooting on anybody's downfall. I feel confident enough in my own ability, so I want everybody to win.
I'm the same thing. I've never been like, oh, I kind of want people to lose. I want the people in chat to win. That is my number one goal. But Ben Carey does not care about anybody in chat. He wants everyone on the stream, and I just wanted to let everybody know Ben Carey, nice guy, wants everybody in the competition to lose so he can win in first place.
Yeah, I think
can he even go to the World Series? He has a new kid. Can he even go to the World Series anyway?
That's tough. That's tough. But yeah, next one, Reds ML. gluing him back today. I faded him yesterday.
It's one of the funniest bits ever. Just glued
It
to the
is.
Tulsa.
It is, and I'm gluing him right back, especially to Hunter Green today, who I think absolutely shoves. Another situation where he's been nails on the road. Part of that is because he's playing in Great American Ballpark. Even like he was terrible against the Jays last start, absolutely awful. But a lot of the time he was getting Great American Ballparked. A lot of those home runs were wall scrapers, not exactly, they were hard hits certainly, but you got his demise in Cincy. But 3-3-1 on the road, 7-2-4 at home, which, yeah, some of that is environmental, but it's also just that Hunter Green looks much more solid when he's on the road. And another one where I'm kind of saying that's a flash in the pan start with his first start back. A lot of fastballs across the middle of the plate last start against the Jays, which Hunter Green, over the course of, when the Reds started to get hot earlier in the season, that was like really his calling card that I thought looked much improved. His fastball command was pretty impeccable. So first start back, it wasn't there. I'm going to bet that it's going to be there today, especially if up in the zone. He loves to work his fastball. He left a lot, belt high for the Jays, which is why they're able to take advantage of that, aside from the fact that they're in Cincy. So the D-backs, that's an area where they struggle hitting high fastballs up in the zone. Obviously, they also struggle. I don't know if I can talk, but against sliders, which that's the key to kind of him generating whiffs, because the slider is extremely effective. That's his best pitch by far. Opponents rating 225 off of that. D-backs last 30 days, third worst team against the slider. He's also super tough against lefties. So again, if you get through the top of the lineup and kind of the key guys there, Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte. I know you have Christian Walker and Tommy Pham, who have also been really good, but if he's really dialing in with that fastball up in the zone and the slider down in the zone against lefties especially, I feel good about how he can pitch today. And again, just gave up 8 against the Jays in Cincy, and what do we see now? A 2.5 earned run square that is minus 125 to the under as well. So tapping into that. I also can't say like I'm in love with the Reds bats in this matchup. I just think Hunter Green is going to absolutely shove. I think against Fat, they're going to do enough and scratch a little late game here. Even like I weirdly feel confident about the bullpen today, which I never really do with the Reds. And it helps. It's more about the bullpen matchup because I also think the Reds or the D-backs, they're obviously terrible. And I think we're going to see some of the back end arms of them too. So I think
that's why I didn't go with the full game under, because I disagree about the Reds bullpen. I was looking about who they had slated in today, and I was like, but at the same time, I don't believe in the Diamondbacks bullpen either. That's why I would lead Reds money line. I took the first 5 under, which I really like because I couldn't agree with you more about Green dominating. I think Fott has a good day too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right. I think it's going to be like a 2-1 through the starters.
I would love that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Green has the capability to give him 7, to be honest with you. So, I mean, that would be huge. Alexis Diaz still available as well, which is key.
That's
so
true.
If we bridge an inning or two between the bullpen, hopefully I assume they're going to get
That's
Lucas
true.
Sims.
If Green goes 7, and then we just
Green goes 7, it's a game changer. The difference between 6 and 7 is a game changer for the Reds, and I'm thinking that he can get that, and then hopefully we survive the potential Lucas Sims inning.
And it's also an underdog bet, right? You're not betting the minus 150 favorite. It's good value. I like this pick too. Detroit, Houston over 9. I almost played this game, but I banned the Tigers, so I made myself not do it.
Fair enough. I don't feel great about the Tigers on a consistent basis. I've tried to keep myself a little limited to that.
Good for you. I have not.
Aside from the prize
I am in piss.
The prize picks board, they've been kind of printing. Not going to lie. I've been a big hit run RBI.
Oh, yeah. They hit. They just don't win.
Well, I don't need them to win. I need runs.
That's true. You just need runs.
That's what I need. Another one like Framber, horrendous on the road. We all know that. I'm going to continue to fade him, especially like when you look at the Tigers against lefties, you're not going to see it like on a base level because the bottom of their lineup drags it down so hard, like a lot of their numbers. But you look at the guys like at the top of the lineup, like a Torkelson. Like I know Riley Green is not overall great in context of the season, but he's actually been better against them. Andy Ibanez, Matt Vierling, who I assume is going to be up there as well. Kerry Carpenter, big reverse split guy who's been really good against lefties. So the top of that lineup mashes lefties. It's just the guys at the bottom that are dragging those overall team numbers down a little bit. So I feel great about their matchup today. Obviously, Framber, a guy who's a sinker baller who has not known how to keep the ball on the ground. He's giving up a lot of hard hits, which, again, for guys like that who have been mashing the baseball for really on both sides or against both sides, but especially against lefties, feel really good about that matchup. Then, on the other side, Matt Manning also gives up his fair share of hard hits as well, to say the least, I guess you could say. 44% hard hit rate. He throws 50% fastballs with that, which you're talking about guys like Jordan, who I think has a pretty big day. Kyle Tucker, same deal. Jose Altuve, like a lot of those guys I think are going to feast today too. I mean, he's also terrible at home for God knows what reason. He's actually had softer matchups at home, over a 6 ERA at home, and he's rocking a 5.62 xERA. So like these are matchups that I don't think are going to work out all that well for a lot of these pitchers here. And then we get into the bullpens. Tigers bullpen's been not horrendous, but I've definitely seen some vulnerabilities in the past couple, weeks here, which I've been victim to a little bit, but I feel good about it. I feel good about both the bats coming to play here.
And it's a good price. Play number 3.
Yeah, solid price. It's Prize Picks entry. The Jorge 2-piece. That's what we're going with. Jonah Doan, outside of last start, which again, I'm not a Jonah Doan believer that he's back. He's definitely shown flashes that he's improved, but let's see that against Jorge Soler. The one thing that has seemed significantly better. Props. I do love Soler props because they do prints, and I feel good about a lot of the lineup today. But especially like you look at Jonah Doan, what was the glaring issue he had last year, along with some of the other Nationals pitchers?
Has no idea where it's going.
No idea. And then when he does, where does it go? Right down the middle, and it ends up over the wall. So big home run issue. Obviously, you have Soler, who is kind of a key guy to attack with that. And like you look at a Dome, like yes, I guess the swing and miss stuff and the command is overall a little bit better than it was last season. But he still got over a 50% hard hit rate, and he's going to throw a lot of fastball slider to righties. So let's see it happen. And especially we're talking about a run prop. Like I love a lot of the matchups for a lot of guys there. Especially the ones who are hitting behind him too. Like I know Jazz is hitting in front of him today. He's not leading off, but I think it's just going to be an onslaught from the Marlins offense against a pretty public dog in the Nationals today. So I think we get this is really what Jonah Doan is type start. And then second Jorge on the board, Jorge Mateo, hit run RBI. Hit run RBI on the 9 spot is just kind of an auto take, especially when you have a guy who outside of the last 2 games, he's hitting like 050 in the past couple weeks. So we have him up for hit run RBI against Kyle Freeland, which again, another one where I think it's going to be an absolute onslaught. Like Mateo's great against lefties, not great, that's a stretch, but significantly better than righties. Freeland, high hard hit rate. I think it's going to be a real tough showing for him against some of this Orioles lineup, especially like Mateo's hitting in the 9 hole. And who do you got leading off? I also love this matchup, Adley Rutschman. And then who do you go after that? Anthony Santander. So, like, I think it's going to be a perfect spot for him to get on base, and plenty of those guys are going to drive him in. So I love it.
Good card per usual. Feeling like more winners. I mean, I got no problem with it.
Yeah. Oh, so.
Had a baby Javon. So we got Jorge Soler and Jorge Mateo, the 2-piece. We got the Tigers versus the Astros over 9 at plus 100.
Squad ride.
That's the squad ride.
And
then we have the Reds money line. Why wasn't the Reds money line squad ride? That they just didn't go for that one?
Yeah, it was second place.
Oh, and Seattle, first 5.
And Seattle. Don't forget about the Mavs.
Had a baby. We'll talk to you soon, all right? Appreciate you.
Sir.
All right. That was the Milkman, and now we have the Degenerate.
Tough act to follow up.
Not if you bring in winners. And you have been all season long. Producer, can we flash a leaderboard? Degen always thinks he's so crap at MLB betting. And yet, here we are right in the green. Up 2.47 units. How you doing?
Green looks good. I'm last in the green.
Yeah, I'm first in the red.
First in the red? Yeah, I didn't even notice. I've unretired from first 5 betting today. And
proud of you.
It's going to be a disaster. I can already feel it. But I have to do it. I have to do it because I didn't make a bet yesterday in baseball. I didn't like the board. I don't think did you have anything yesterday?
I did. I bet the over 9 in Blue Jays Orioles. It was 5-3 in the 6th inning, and then it went scoreless.
It ended at 8.
Yep.
I think the Orioles game is going to soar over today.
Probably.
Well, yeah. Just don't get involved with the Orioles.
I hit my prize picks though.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I've had $9 in my prize picks account for like 3 months now. I haven't.
You ain't looking at the squares?
Dude, I have been so bad in player props in baseball. Like June was cool, and then July and what? We're almost all the way through August. Miserable. So yeah, I've been kind of laying off of those. And so yeah, I'm going to change it up though. Like I said, first 5s, the last like 4 that I did, the first 5 bet lost, the full game bet would have won. So I was like, fuck this. I'm done. I'm over it. But I'm going to get back into it.
Question. Who was in your stream telling you about not to trust bullpens today? Because there's no way that you unretired just by yourself.
Well, no, actually, I did have Phil Zutley on, which elite ball knower.
I love that guy. That's my one. I wish I got him on stream. I'm so upset at myself.
Well, there's always next year. Yeah.
And there will be next year. He'll be on here.
I mean, if you could do Prize Picks entries, which you can, I don't rarely do them, but Phil's is, I don't know what his sides record is. I don't really track that, but I see him post the Prize Picks. He's the only guy, this is why I really respect him too. He's the only guy taking unders, because every average Joe, and myself included, anytime we bet a player prop, 9 times out of 10, we're taking it over.
Because you like it.
Yeah, taking under on a player prop is, and he's taking unders on the star players too. So I love to hear what he has to say. So yes, 3 plays today. One of them I do believe is on, so I don't have to spend too much time on that. But yeah, here I am again. It's funny. I was getting a lot of shit from my buddy Greg about being a biased race fan, and that I bet them all the time. And I looked at Pikkit. It actually said my top team was the Toronto Blue Jays. And I swear it's like all team totals for the Blue Jays. So I'm just so done with thinking that this team actually is going to get I don't even know, I don't even think get going, but do anything really. They're just so dull. And they really shouldn't be, in my opinion. I like their lineup a lot. I like their guys a lot, but it's like the opposite of the Rays. If 1 or 2 guys is hitting, nobody else is picking up the slack. I feel like you have a big game from Chapman or a big game from Bichette, but then fucking Vladdy and everybody else does nothing. But I think
you might not have been. Have you been tracking my season-long entry? Do you have any idea how that's going?
Peter, with all due respect, I have not, but I've seen you tweet it 17 million times. So I have no choice but to track, because every time I open up Twitter, I see you updating me, which is hilarious. I wish I could shit on you and be like, all right, Peter, it's like I'm telling you about the fantasy team. It's like, we don't care. But I have to admit, every time I see it, I am looking at the meter and I am curious to see where you're at. So
I wasn't doing it for a while. That is recency bias, because obviously I'm not going to update it throughout the entire season. But lately, with Shohei going under 3.15, the last leg, 250 to win $6,250, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over 163.5 hits. And he's right now projected 164.
That shit ain't hitting. Vlad has gone full G-Man Choi. He
gets a hit every game. He goes 1 for 4 every game. And he's like, if he just does that for the rest of the games, he's going to hit it.
Yeah, and Phil's was telling me, the exit velocity and the expected batting average.
They're writing articles about how unlucky he's been this season.
That's what I love. That's what I love about baseball. That I'm getting into is it's the sport where you can bitch about being unlucky the most, because it's this was supposed to happen. The expected is great, and I love it. I'm into the analytics and shit. So, and it's more of a reason to just bitch and moan. But yeah, Vladdy. Yesterday I saw he was 0 for 2, and I was about to tweet, is Vladdy done? Is Vladdy washed? But then I saw Cam Money tweeted 107 exit velo, expected batting average is 0.63. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get 37 freaking baseball nerds commenting, be like, yeah, he's not done, he's just getting unlucky. So whatever you want to call it, it's annoying as fuck.
So why do you like this play?
I like this play because I like a team seeing a pitcher again. And Tanner Bibby, 7 innings pitched, 1 hitter against the Blue Jays. I guess if you ask, I'm not doing anything crazy here. If anything, I feel like this is probably a square play to say no way the Blue Jays get shut down by Tanner Bibby again. I mean, right? If you ask 10 people on the street, everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, no. Maybe if it was a bigger name pitcher, but Tanner Bibby, who's actually going to have the faith in Tanner Bibby to repeat that performance against the Blue Jays? But I think it's a don't overthink it play. I saw Chris Bassett in the flesh pitch in Cincinnati, and he looked really good. Bassett's a guy I like. Barrios looked good. It's crazy. The Jays pitching actually is good. Kikuchi is good this year.
And the bullpen is amazing.
Their fucking bullpen's good. It's crazy. And coming from a Rays fan, trust me, I don't want the Blue Jays to be dominant. I would, if I put in the shoes of a Blue Jays fan, because I'm betting this team so many fucking times, burning money on them, I would be beyond frustrated that they haven't performed to what their, abilities are. But I think I'm going to, I don't want to get the bullpens involved. From what I understand, like you just said, the Blue Jays have a good bullpen. The Guardians have a good bullpen. But I do think we get some hits. It feels like an 8.5 in Toronto doesn't necessarily feel low. I want to say all year I've seen 9s in Toronto when I was like, ooh, this is a little higher than it should be, or 9.5s. But I feel like this is a park where they've maybe expected runs to be scored. Although from what I understand, I think, didn't they like move the outfield back, or was that Orioles Park? I'm thinking
that's
of.
Camden Yards, but they did like kind of switch things around. But yeah, the Blue Jays offense at home has been a dumpster fire.
It's been a dumpster fire, so they're not good at home on the over. So you know what? I just feel like it's one of those where you think, oh, okay,
It's ending on 5. It's ending on 5.
It's ending on 5. This is a game where you want it. It makes sense for it to be under, and it makes sense for it, in my opinion, for these guys to pitch well. And I feel like we're going to see scoring early that just doesn't make any sense. So this is just for my gambling brain. It's just a play that I don't think makes sense that ends up hitting. And so instead of taking the Blue Jays team total, because that's going to lose, I'm just going to bet on 4. It's going to be 3-2, and I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to fucking be 3-2, and I want to be here with my plus 0.91 units when it happens.
It'll also be hilarious too when the Guardians are the ones who score 5 and the Blue Jays still don't hit. But that
would be incredible. I would love that. I would really love that. I actually do like the Guardians a little bit in this spot too.
I do too. I kind of like them too. But that's just because I want to go to war with Chris Bassett, but only on the road.
So you're sorry, but just real quick, you are like, you're not a Chris Bassett guy.
No.
Okay.
Watch. I guarantee you. I can't guarantee anything. What I think is going to happen is this bet is going to look like it's in piss early. Because what Chris Bassett does, I feel like I watch him every 5th day. First time through the lineup, he's spinning these terrible breaking balls. He's throwing his sinker, and nobody's touching him. It's just ground ball after ground ball. They get together in the dugout, and they're like, guys, he's not that good. 4th inning, 2-run home run. 5th inning, 2-run home run. He goes back into the 6th, shutout 6 innings, 4 earned, 4 hits, every clockwork. Second time through the order, he gets banged. Because they're like, wait a minute, he's not that good. But first 3 innings, he's the greatest pitcher on planet Earth.
Well, you know what I like, and this is the last thing we'll move on, the way the Guardians approach the plate and how they don't strike out and they're pesky hitters. Don't you feel like that's kind of a bad matchup for Chris Bassett?
No.
Okay.
I think it's every professional hitter is going to get out first time through the order and then get it second time. I truly believe that. I don't think it matters. Like pesky strikes out a lot, don't care.
Okay.
They just got to see him twice.
All right, fair enough. Well,
So
give me the over. Go ahead.
But,
what's that?
Actually, yes, we'll do this one. We're aligned on the third one, so let's start with this one. We'll do Chicago, Pittsburgh first.
Yes. Is it weird that I'm a Kyle Hendricks guy?
No, he's had a good year. I'm on Pittsburgh today, by the way.
Okay. So that's the thing. I actually leaned Pittsburgh, but I think the Cubs offense cools off a little bit.
Me too.
And yes. And so leaning into that, I think the Cubs offense cools off. I think that Mitch Keller, and somebody did point this out in my stream, Mitch Keller's been better. And I'm a Kyle Hendricks guy. So I don't think he's going to do anything spectacular. He'll probably give up a couple hits. Maybe the Pirates score 2 through the first 5. But I don't think the Cubs are going to score many. I think we see – I mean, yesterday squeaked over. I think it went into extras. But I like that they got most of their runs and almost all of their hits early. I think we're going to kind of see the opposite today. So I wanted to take the bullpens out of it. I believe each team used 4 guys from the bullpen. I could not tell you if they're top guys, middle guys, bad guys, whatever. But I think we now see a little bit of a sleepier start to this game. I think Mitch Keller is better. I think Kyle Hendricks pitches fine. And this actually, of all 3, is my favorite play.
Question from chat: why do you think the Cubs offense cools down? I know why I think, but I'm curious why you think.
Well, it's a little bit of it's actually this just always tends to happen. Like teams go up, they go down. It's not necessarily a do thing though. I just think Mitch Keller is a guy that everybody was excited about at the beginning of the year, and now I feel like he's one of those guys where it's so late in the season that nobody is really getting excited when they open their phone in the morning, taking their morning dump and looking at the board and saying, "Ooh, Mitch Keller pitches today." Ollie's not sharing the memes anymore. Nobody cares about Mitch Keller. That's when Mitch Keller strikes. And on top of that, with the Cubs, what did they get? 10 hits yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That was after a grinded out series where they scored a fuck ton of runs in Detroit. That was a great start. They got that win. So they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. But I feel like we see a good pitching performance from Mitch Keller, and he only has a few starts left to end the season on a high note. What better way to do it against a divisional opponent like the Cubs?
I couldn't agree with you more. The reason why I think the Cubs bats slow down is not only does Mitch Keller's his velocity back up and his strikeout rate is spiking, which is normally when Mitch Keller is back. If he's not striking out guys, the stuff is not quite as sharp. But then also what Mitch Keller does very well is what the Cubs have issues with: soft contact. Mitch Keller is in the 80th, 85th percentile in hard hit rates, all that kind of stuff. The Cubs' main issue is that they don't strike out, but it's a lot of soft contact. So I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of rollovers. It's going to be a lot of pop flies. They're going to hit the ball, but it's not going to be with a lot of oomph in it. I think they're going to be a lot of like, oh, back, warning track fly out. Like kind of that kind of game for Keller. And I agree with you. I like this play, but I actually like the Pirates matchup against Hendricks today. Not to the point of they're going to destroy him.
Right.
But that he gives them 5 innings of 3 earned, and I think Keller shoves. So I like this play.
I agree with you. If I put myself in the fan shoes of being at this game, I don't feel like it's going to be exciting. And I feel like the innings are going to fly by. Like you go to get your peanuts and a beer, and you miss an entire inning. So that's what I'm hoping happens.
Play number 3, we're aligned.
Yeah, I guess I don't have to spend too much time on this. Javon told me, I guess, or not told me, but I heard him mention the Reds losing yesterday means he's going to nuke them today. And I guess the reason being, I missed his pitch, but is that Hunter Green shoves.
I agree. But I also think Brandon Pfaadt shoves. So I think we're going to hit this bet. But now saying that,
I'm just going to go ahead and I think I'm going to accept that the Reds offense has lost it. I think their flame is just about completely out. And again, this has to do with maybe me seeing them in person for 2 games, but they're
you're scouting them. This is your scouting report.
It was my scouting report. Yes.
It is your scouting report.
It just looks like, man, we had so much fun. That was such a good time. And they're having a really difficult time trying to like relive that, And I don't know that it's coming back. I just think the team might be a little too young, and nobody's
season. It's a long
season. It is. So whereas certain
we're tired and we're just clicking buttons on betting.
Yeah. So like certain streaks and things and teams and cool off. They go up, they go down, whatever. I'm worried about the Reds offense maybe just being that team that puts up 3, maybe 4 tops. And so I am, in a way, leaning into the fact that Jovan is not only a ball knower, but a Reds whisperer and likes Hunter Green to shove. So I'm good with that. So hopefully he shoves. But even if the Reds were to win the first 5, I don't think they're scoring a bunch of runs. So
I agree.
And also at the end of the day, again, trying to be smart here. I know the Reds don't have a good bullpen. So eliminating that from the equation. And I don't really typically like doing this because we did have a sleepy game yesterday. I think that barely 3-2? 3-2. So, but one thing I am finding is like, this is the second game in the series. It sometimes, if anything, you see game 1 and game 2
go under, and then game 3
kind of goes similarly. And then game 3 is just like the fucking, where did that come from?
Yeah.
So I am okay with leaning into it. and not thinking, oh, the runs didn't come yesterday, now they're going to come in today. Let's back Hunter Green. He's better on the road. He got fucking blown up. When I left the Cincinnati airport, I think Toronto Blue Jays home run almost flew by the plane. They scored 10 runs in that game. That was cool. And the fun fact, by the way, Cincinnati's airport is in Kentucky. So you've been there, by the way, so I'm sure you know that.
Well, I've been to Great American Ballpark. I've never flown out of Cincinnati.
Oh, did you take a boat?
No, flew into Chicago, and then I did the Great American, Wrigley. Well, I hit somewhere else. We'll talk about that later. We got to get.
That's a fun tour.
It's a great tour.
So those are my 3 totals. First 5. They're either going 3-0 or they're going 0-3.
Well, I hope at least one hits because I'm on one of them.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I hope W sportsmanship from Javon. I'm not rooting for any of you. And I know you're not either. You're not rooting
No,
for
I
me.
am. I actually am.
No,
why? I don't get the World Series tickets. I want my chat to win. I want it to be a better show. I absolutely do. I promise you I do.
That kind of makes sense. But if everybody was losing and you were up 40 units, you wouldn't love that?
No. What does that do for anybody?
Yeah,
it's cool for my ego. I want
you're the elite ball mower.
I don't care. I genuinely, that's why I wanted to do the show, was for people to come in and get all the analysis that they can and then win bets from all of us. That's why I brought in. That's why I didn't bring in a bunch of schmucks so I could just beat them and feel good about myself.
I guess to be clear, I don't want anybody get killed.
You're an asshole.
No, well, yes, but no. I don't want people to lose money, but in a contest, it would be incredible
if we were doing this on our own and no one else was tailing. Yes, I'd want everyone to lose. Not in the public forum. I want everybody. I want the chat to win.
But in a contest, though, the top 6 going into the end of the season, if we're all within 2 to 3 units of each other, that's electric. Because then every stream is going to matter. So I want these guys at the top to lose. Doesn't that make sense? It just makes for more competition.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you later. We'll get Arm.
That's all I got.
We got to get Arm to win too.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
All right, my friend. We'll talk to you. Have a good
luck.
weekend.
Take care.
I need one more square for my flex entry. Who's got me? You brought in Krabs, to be fair, JK. All right, that was mean. Aram Layton.
I was going to say,
Oh.
if everybody wants to be competitive, I think everybody can root for the Make-A-Wish kid over here who's trying to get back up from negative 20 units. And
Producer Cohen, don't flash the leaderboard.
You can flash it.
Don't do it. Let's get after it, Arm.
Hey, the AAA pick smacked though.
Smacked people who tailed Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Arm.
Some people tailed. I got
the 4th.
I got tweets at me. Some people tailed, which I love. They went all over Jared Eichhoff. I think they scored 7 runs in the second inning. But we got a lot of picks to fly through, and then I'll throw in a AAA banger at the end.
Before you even start, Javon has Reds meat glued to his tonsils, and he's like, Noelvi Marte is going to give the spark. I'm on the I don't think he's that good train. You kind of like him.
I think there's a world where he can give you a little bit of a spark. But
Arm, just admit I was right.
Yeah,
I just watched one game, some highlights, and I was like, he doesn't got it.
He swings at everything, bro.
Everything.
I don't think he's doing much for them, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I hope he comes through with a big homer or something. But if he gets hot, you never know. It's worth a shot.
Let's get into plays. Seattle
first 5. So I have notes on all of these because I've never dropped this many picks in one episode here or in one stream. But Bryce Miller's been awesome, man. And I thought this was a little bit of a square play looking at it, but for me, this was also just one where I like the pitching matchup. I like the situation. Of course, I love the way the Mariners have been playing. And then on the other side, I think Brady Singer is kind of weird, and I don't know if Vegas quite knows how to price him. He's had the phenomenal starts, and then he's kind of hit the wall and had a really bad start last time out. But I think with this very aggressive Royals lineup, Bryce Miller is just going to keep buzzing fastballs at the top of the zone. They're going to keep swinging through them. I think he's looked as good as ever. We had the hot start from Miller, come down to earth league, figures you out a little bit, and now adjusting back. And I love what we're seeing from him. So I think Royals away from home in a pitcher's park, Bryce Miller at home. I really like this starting pitching matchup, and I think it favors them heavily for it to be this. I thought it would be way worse. I thought it'd be like minus 150 at 1/2 run. So the value was too good for me.
I've been bragging about this all stream. Did you know that this was the first day where my cash out button for Seattle Mariners to win the pennant and to win the World Series is more than what I put on it?
No way.
First
Let's
day.
go.
We got
Let's
$1 above.
Let's go. I
Let's
love
go.
that.
Let's go. Second play.
Second play.
Arizona first 5.
Yeah. I love everything you guys said about the pitching matchup. I think both pitchers are going to be pretty decent. I heard you're open on Brandon Pfaadt, and I agree with everything.
Love Pfaadt.
Dude, Pfaadt, baseball's hard. And Pfaadt was a guy that I was really high on as a prospect, and of course, continue to follow. And he had to get sent back.
You got me into him, and then I was looking at the data and watching video. I'm like, I believe in him. I lost money early on, but then I've been tracking lately. I'm like, this is him. It's
hard to succeed when you can't trust the fastball, and he's been trying to figure out how to mitigate that. And I think he's found it. He's found the pitch mix, how to sequence his catchers too. That's a big part of it as well. How to work with him and how to be able to sneak that fastball in the right spots. His command has been way better. I just like this matchup for him in general too, because this Reds team is reeling. You got him at home. You got Green, who I do think is going to bounce back, but the D-backs, they're a team that I think can at least sneak a couple out. And the other side of it too is that I just feel like this is two guys trending in different directions. Green's trying to find it. Pfaadt has found it and is rolling. D-backs offense has been better, kind of a back-breaking finish to the game yesterday as well. And I just think the Reds are reeling. So I think this is an opportunity to take the better team, the better pitcher right now. Obviously, Hunter Green is the better pitcher, I think, overall, but the better pitcher right now, and the momentum and the home team. I love the home team in the first 5. So I just think there's too many things swinging in the D-backs' favor here. And another one that I thought would be like minus 130, even at the minus 1/2 run, and it wasn't.
Fair enough. Play number 3.
I can't believe I'm betting on the New York Mets. I know producer Cohen must be floored. I don't know when the last time he's put this down, but look, we just spent so much time talking about how dead the Angels are. Mike Trout's out, Ohtani dealing with the UCL now, which sucks. I think the wind is totally out of their sails. And also, Sandoval has just not been good of late. The Mets have actually been swinging it all right. They're in the better half of the league. I think around 10th in baseball against left-handed pitching in WRC plus over the last month. And I think through the second half and over the course of the season, they've been better and better and better against left-handed pitching. And I just think Kodai Senga is going to mow through what is a demoralized team, a lineup that is, far weaker without Trout in it. And, we talk about a lot of the young guys in there. I think they're going to vomit at the sight of the Ghost Fork. And I love the Mets offense against a lefty right now. And I think that Kodai Senga is going to kind of keep this Angels team at bay. And then again, we've got the first 5 with a team at home. So for me, this is a no-brainer. I think the wheels really start to fall off for the Angels here.
It's 2 teams colliding straight suckage.
Yeah. So give me the better pitcher and then the splits and the home team.
Toronto, Cleveland under. So you are directly against the Gen right now, but you're a Tanner Bobby guy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, Chris Bassett's been throwing the ball pretty well. I'm going to fade Cleveland's offense into oblivion. To me, you get a semi-decent pitcher against Cleveland's offense, I got no problem with it. But Tanner Bybee has been as consistent could be. And the fact that this was 4.5 is crazy to me. I thought it would be 4. And 4, I might have still taken it, but I wouldn't have done it at a 3 unit, because I like the 4 push. And I think there's a good chance that we get to 4. But to be able to win at a 2-2, 3-1, whatever it may be, I feel really good about that. I love the way Tanner Bybee's throwing the baseball. He's been as confident as ever. He continues to just churn out quality starts, and Bassett's been the same. To me, this is a Toronto team. We want that offense to be what it is, but it really just hasn't been that. I think Bybee's going to be solid tonight. And again, Bassett's riding a nice little heater right now. And if you're pitching well, I don't expect that streak to end when you face the Cleveland Guardians.
Good shit. Play number 5.
5. Detroit. Why was this so high?
Well, Matt Manning stinks. Stinks at home, and Framber has been struggling on the road. I get why the total is this high.
So you have a team here in here's my thing, man. Like, I know Matt Manning hasn't been that great, but I still think he's capable of not getting absolutely blown up. And you look at the last couple starts, for me, it's a couple bad blowups and then a lot of quality starts. Guy that shut down the Guardians last time out, really good outing against the Red Sox, had that blow up against the Rays, had a blow up against the Angels, and then a bunch of quality starts before that. So I don't know why or how or in what world he can be worse at home. Like, I just don't understand that, because you're pitching in literally the most impossible place to hit in the world. But I think this is a really good opportunity for Framber to bounce back. I think Manning has to, like, this is where I think it regresses to the mean at home. There's just no way you pitch worse at Comerica Ballpark. This is me just betting against a trend that I just don't think can continue. I know that's like not standard practice, but to me, it's crazy that Matt Manning would be worse at home when he's a fly ball pitcher at Comerica Ballpark. Like, that just does not make sense. And I'm going to keep betting against it until he finally turns out a good start at home. I honestly think those splits are skewed from a blow up start that would have happened anywhere on earth. And it was 2 of them. So I think that's what really skews these splits. And I think we'll see them start to normalize. And this will be the first game where that happens. Framber bounce back in a perfect spot for him, at Comerica. 5, I think I saw it as high as 5.5. I think I took it. I was able to get it elsewhere at 5.5. Like, that's way too high.
I feel you. I'm a little bit scared about this one. I'm not going to be honest. I like the other pitches. This one, I don't know. Like, I think it kind of pushes, if that makes sense.
I mean, I'll take it.
We watched some baseball, didn't lose any money. I think you have one more, right?
I think I have one more.
Miami, Washington over 8.5.
Yeah, look, Nationals have been pretty good against left-handed pitching. Braxton Garrett, I do like him. I think he's been, pretty solid. But Joan Adone, man, like, the Marlins have seen this guy so many times, and they've hit him pretty well. They really need to come to life here. They really need to win this series. And I think Garrett's going to give up a couple runs. I think the Marlins are going to be able to put up a couple back. And this is going to be their best lineup, right? They got Jazz in it now, and he's been finally starting to get rolling. They've got Berger, they've got Bell swinging it, and the biggest thing for me is the bullpens on both sides. The Marlins bullpen has been frustrating. David Robertson has not been good. AJ Puck has not been good. They don't really know where to use Tanner Scott. So even if they're winning, I think they're going to surrender some runs late in this one. That's why I didn't take the first 5. I don't think either pitcher goes deep. That's the other thing is Braxton Garrett is good, but they'll never let him go more than 6. Like, he almost never will go more than 6. So you hand it off to this bullpen that I don't trust whatsoever for the Marlins. And then again, Adone sucks. I'm always going to fade Adone. So any start where I have Adone and the over-under is sub-9, I'm already looking at it closely. Then you have a Marlins starter who I do like, but is rarely going to go scoreless. I think he's always consistently giving up 1 or 2 runs, but won't go deep. And I hate this bullpen. I think this goes over 8 runs pretty easily.
Fair enough. Great card, my friend. 6 plays.
Prayers up. This could put me right back in it.
This could put you right back in it. Let's get after it.
Or it could put me in Crab's oblivion.
Oh, we don't have you. You're somewhere on the leaderboard.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. If I lose all these, I might retire right next to Crabs and ride off into the sunset.
Fair enough. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Have a great weekend. Go to Chappelle tonight. Go to Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Oh, that's why I'm wearing a nice shirt. Come on.
Have fun. Have a blast. We'll talk to you,
sir. Peace.
Okay. And last, but certainly not least. You want plays?
You like the shirt, Peter?
Jake Hazen has plays rocking an In and Out t-shirt out there in North Dakota.
South Dakota.
Same thing. Right. Let's get to play number 1.
What is play number 1? Dodgers.
Why not?
All right, so just to make it clear, guys, I like how Zach Brownlee says, like, I respect for you guys looking shit up and not speaking out of your ass. I'm about to fully speak out of my ass for this entire slate. I'm going to just, these breakdowns, these pitches are going to be really bad. Last time we did this, I made like 0.6 units. Like the whole point of doing this was like, come on, either go up a shit ton or go down a shit ton. Like, we'll see what happens from there. No, I actually just went even.
And I also want to, JK's in there tracked on his thing. He bet every single one of these.
Yeah,
So
I'm not just like,
he's not just throwing shit out just to say shit.
One unit, everything too. I have
bet
a $50 unit. I can send you the slips if you want, dude. My bookie
I believe you.
Fuck. That's all I gotta say, dude. Stressful night incoming. But Dodgers. Yeah, I mean Lance Lynn's just been passing the eye test for me. That's became a Dodger, and I just what's his face? Who's on the bump for
Cutter Crawford.
Yeah, nope, he ain't gonna cut it tonight.
He ain't gonna cut it. Play number 2, White Sox -1.5. Dylan sees something out against the A's.
Dylan
shit's
versus
losing.
It's not losing, dude. I guarantee this place winning.
Okay, talk to me.
Cease against the A's.
Cease against the A's. Play number 3.
Giants. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this one since I am fading the Braves. And I can't just be like, sure, dude. Like, I have to give a little more explanation to this. So, I love this text that Peter sent me this morning. Like, dude, Strider's earned run props at -1.5 under, like on juice under -125. I just said, don't care. Still fading him. So, the reason why I'm doing
your analysis. You said I was going to add a lot more, and then that was what
No,
it is.
I just want to bring that up because I don't know. I think I found myself funny in that situation. I want to bring it up. You know how it is sometimes.
I know it is.
We both have egos. You know how it goes. But yeah. So hold on. So I'm just trying to come my room. Sorry about that. I'm still at my parents' house at 22. But as I was saying, if I get to this pitch, Logan Webb is a fucking dog, and I just backed him. I think if you look at Logan Webb's peripherals, Logan Webb's stats, dude, he is like sneakily a top 5 pitcher. No one's talking about it. He doesn't get brought up in any rankings. I'll take him over a lot of guys, dude. He's better. I think he's been better than Garrett Cole. I think he's been better than. Dude, I'm not kidding, guys. So you see my little like player A, player B things. I do. Logan Webb cleared him like almost every stat, but like ERA, and it was like 0.2 better than him.
All right, keep going.
Except for case for 9-2. He's a ground ball guy. He just faced these Braves his last start, but if you watch it, some of the contact he gave up. Now I was just watching my own eyes. He did up 2 home runs, but the things about the Braves are gonna hit their home runs. But it just depends on how they get on base, and the way they're getting on base for those multi-run home runs weren't too well. They weren't really good hits. I think he pitched a really good game, but like, you're gonna take a play like the Giants. You're gonna expect the Braves to give up at least 3 home runs. This is what they do every fucking day. And Strider, I just think that arm's going to start wearing out. We saw it last year. I think it's not wearing out. We've seen it. The whole course of the season, he's not quite as good as like peripherals. I'm just go on the next play, dude. I'm out of words.
Mariners.
Dude, that's easy. Bryce Miller shoved day. Everyone already talked about it. It's hitting.
Cincinnati,
actually, what's going to happen? Actually, they're going to win 2-1, and they're going to win the first 5 half.
Cincinnati, Arizona.
Brandon Pfaadt, a couple people are on this too. I've been watching Brandon Pfaadt lately. The kid's been a stud arm, and I think Hunter Green kind of settles back in, getting away from the Great American Small Park and just leaving middle fastballs against the Blue Jays. You can't really get away with it quite as much, even though like they're not a good fastball team. But the way this D-back team's been swinging lately, I think the way it's a little more especially how big the ballpark is. So bullpens are probably going to ship it though. I play lost. GG.
Twins. We're on
Sonny
the same
Gray
one. It moved to -120, so it lost already.
Yes. I actually have COV in like 12 of these plays. I'm horrified, dude. I'm so scared. Your MLB FIP leader, Sonny Gray. You know that? Yeah, Rangers not been a good team, and they're facing the best FIP pitcher in baseball. So give me a short price, a better bullpen.
Agreed. Angels.
This got 30 cents of COV, dude.
Really? No. I see.
No, they're like +110 now, dog.
Are they? Angels +115.
This is not hitting. Just give them like no chances hits. I took the Angels this morning just to fade steam. And then it's just like, nope, dude, you're a sharp better. You get CLV so you can lose. I'm like, all right, dude. I'm like this. The reason I took this play was to fade steam. Because like you got to kind of do that sometimes on a board like this. So now I'm just praying. This play's not hitting.
All right, well, we're going to hit the rest of them. How about this Brewers?
Brandon Woodruff is better than you, Darvish. The Brewers are better than the Padres. They have the better bullpen. They have the better pitcher. They've had I wouldn't say, the Padres technically have the better lineup, but like they just don't fucking win. The Brewers are just better in every pretty possible facet. They play better defense. They're just better everything.
Fair. Play number 3.
All right. So Tanner Bybee. This is kind of, I think I'm Peter, can I join the Tanner Bybee fan club?
Yes, you may. We've been on it for a minute.
I've been bending him like recently, and like this guy just fucks, man.
We love him.
Fucks. I'm glad to be a part of this fan club. I like him a lot more than I hate Tristan McKenzie. So like, I'm fine. I could. Yeah, I hate him, dude. I think it's horrible. I think he's so bad.
I would just disagree. We agree to disagree.
We'll talk about it another time. But I remember I came on this day. I backed the under the last time these teams played when it was, I think it was Barrios versus Bybee. And I brought up how like Matt came on and said, really good slider team, which yes, is true, but I haven't checked this. I don't think I've gone on Fangraphs since I just pitched. So I'm hoping they're still a bad fastball team. But, the Blue Jays are not been hitting fastballs quite as well. They just bodied Hunter Green. So it's a little bit concerning, but this is a different fastball. And his slider is fucking elite, dude. It's got like a 200x wOBA, something like that. Like it's like one of the better pitches.
It's fantastic.
It's yes, and his fastball is really good. He doesn't hit the fastballs quite as well.
You know, he's got written on his gloves, "Stay Verdi," and he just wants to throw the ball as hard as he can. I love him.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, I just like Bybee's matchup here. I know he just shoved, but like he didn't just like flash in the pan like Dean Kramer. Like that guy just shoves for no reason sometimes, and no one can fucking find out why. But like Bybee shoved for a reason this last time against the Blue Jays, and Blue Jays just kind of showed a little bit of offensive life in the 3-game span where they lost a series. So I think it kind of comes back down to earth. That's how the Blue Jays work.
Fair enough. Arms AAA plays, Tacoma moneyline, Nashville Gwinnett under. You know, he pitched Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp yesterday, and they were up 7-0 in the fourth, and they just blew them the hell out. He's been fantastic in the minor league baseball. What?
Isn't that whose affiliate is that?
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. That is the Marlins affiliate.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh yeah, they have fishes like aquatic creature for every single affiliate team.
Aquatic creature.
Well, yeah,
I'm right? Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, no, that's the Marlins because the Marlins have a fish or some sort of crustacean for every single one of their minor league teams.
Play number, I don't even know anymore. Cardinals. I don't know how this hits.
I don't know either, dude. But here's the thing about it. So this is a play, and this is like, I don't know why I'm a freak like this. I'm a weirdo. Like at spots where I fade steam like this, and this is not a big fade steam fade, but like Christopher Sanchez is obviously the better pitcher, Miles Michaelis. The Phillies are the better team. They have the better bullpen, but I just don't really like Christopher Sanchez's matchup at all today. I think the Cardinals, they've still been hitting lefties well. I think that his sinker changeup combos, then I think the Cardinals can kind of get on top of them. And I just think there's this happened in the last game where I started. This Cardinals do this sometimes where they throw out a shitty ass pitcher, but they just explode on offense. It doesn't even matter how bad their starting pitcher was. I think we're going to see that today as Cardinals offense. I think this game is going to be really high scoring. Over is probably the best bet ever, but I'm a freak and I like taking plus 125 dogs all the time. So that's why I'm on the Cardinals.
Fair enough. Pittsburgh, Chicago over 9.
Do you talk about the conversations or just go along with it?
Am I going to disagree? Like what?
It's
I don't think that other play is hitting, but like, what do I know?
Yeah. Pirates are going to hit Kyle Hendricks today, and the Cubs are going to hit Mitch Keller today.
Play number 28.
God, dude, these are my guys, dude. They're my fucking boys. I love this team. They just don't make sense. They win. Dean Kramer, MLB wins leader, like on the way up. Like, come on, man. That's earned. It's not a fluke stat at all. He deserves that wins leader.
How many more plays do we have, producer going? We have 4 more. Go to the next one.
Yankees are bad.
Play number 3.
Jonah Doan masterclass today. Everyone here is fucking wrong. He's so back, and he's gonna have a masterclass, probably 7 innings. And Braxton Garrett has like a 3.13 FIP. That's good. So that means he's gonna pitch well automatically.
And if he doesn't, you can pitch about it. Play number
unlucky.
Whatever.
Yeah, unlucky.
This is play 15.
Can we do an audible on it? Actually, I ended up betting just laying like 1 unit in Astros money line for my actual play.
We also have Astros money line for you.
Yeah, just track that if you can. If that's cool.
You don't want this under anymore?
No, I just want to lay just Framber Valdez minus 175 overvalued, but I just couldn't. It's
kind of soft to you though, because I thought you were gonna,
I mean, my average odds are still like pretty low.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's soft to you to remove a play from betting the whole board. We took it off. It's
15
done.
plays, dog. What do you mean I'm being soft here?
Being kind of soft.
If I were going to bet 2 plays in one game, that would be Nats money line and the under, but not this game. Yeah, just Framber Valdez, just dude, I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm gonna lose so much money today, dude.
Let's so here we go. Look at the screen. I love how we had to overlay because they wouldn't all fit. But let's show Jake on the leaderboard because it's not like people are, people coming in new. People don't know if this guy's just a freaking idiot or if he's on tilt. He's up. He's up in 5th place.
Yeah, and the only reason I'm doing this because unless like I can come on for like one play, but like I can't come on stream during the weekdays anymore, and I have a half days on Friday. So like when I come on Fridays, I want to come and give it every single play in every game just so I can keep my volume up.
I love it. Wow, that's a 5 and 10 card.
Yeah, dude, I think that is. I think this is maybe a 5. This is like I somewhat liked my last time I did this, but like I hate this one. This board just sucks in general, and like I'm not like I don't know why I did this. Like I almost wanted to pussy out, but fuck it, dude. And I said I was gonna do it, so we're doing it.
Well, I respect you for it. I got to get on a trade. I'm going to Philly for a wedding, but Jake,
Dude,
appreciate you coming on.
Dude, corp winning. What's wrong?
That's what I'm
you?
saying. I got a DM today and be like, why are you going to a
I saw
wedding? I'm
that.
like, what does
That's
that
so
even
funny.
mean? I was like, what does that even mean?
Dude, just get in the fucking lab, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Break up with your girlfriend. Don't go to the wedding. Like, just get in the lab. That's why you're losing, dude. You have a girlfriend. Did you have a
I
girlfriend
agree.
last year?
No,
Peter, what's more
Figured it out.
important, dude?
we figured it out. That's why I'm losing. I'm like, not even. All right, I'm getting you out of here. Goodbye. Nice shirt. See ya.
Thank you.
Good stream, not great. I'll be honest, not great. Too many picks. Too many picks. I don't even know anymore. I'm baseballed out. And games start in 18 minutes. Have a great weekend, everybody. You know all the sponsors. Just Baseball code. Just Baseball. Remember to see your sportsbook using code Pikkit. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you hate me and you don't want me to succeed. No, downfolio will not work. I am leaving you. Good luck. Good night. And remember, it's not gambling advice. Peace out, everybody.